What's up, Raider Nation? This is TRU RAIDER Podcast, and if you have not seen it yet, Jay Glazer, trusted insider with connections to Maxx Crosby, went on Yahoo Sports Daily Show on Wednesday, and he had this to say.
Couple guys, if they tell you they're playing, they're playing.
I think his time with the Raiders is done.
I do.
Okay. Before the draft?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Is there a landing spot that makes sense in your opinion?
A ton of them. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I'm going to try and help it out.
Well, sure. What kind of haul do you think, realistically, a Maxx Crosby gets in general?
He, probably more than Micah. So, the day it happened, no less than 20 teams called me and asked, dude, is this real? Can we get him? What's it for? I'm like, God, we're not there yet, but yes, it's real.
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done because that's a Raiders decision or because that's a Maxx Crosby decision?
They didn't want to do it. But he was just like, I'm not going through another rebuild.
And the first thing that I want to say about this is if Maxx Crosby truly wants out from the Raiders, all right, man, because if he does not want to be here, then it's time to move on, right? I will let you know, though, I want Maxx Crosby to stay, and I believe he's going to stay. One of the key things that came out or popped out to me during this video was that he said when this came out, then there was all these teams that reached out to him, right? And what it's sounding like the more I watch and read and look into it, it's really seeming like this happened right after Maxx Crosby got benched. Because he got put on IR and Maxx Crosby was pissed off and he went on Instagram and, there was a video of him, shooting a basketball and standing on a trampoline with his daughter, all that stuff, right? And I think that during that time, sure, I could see him telling Jay Glazer, he was pissed off because he wanted to play. He's like, I don't want to go through another rebuild. But let's face it, since then, Raiders have secured the number 1 overall pick and are a shoe-in to get their next quarterback of the future, a quarterback who Maxx Crosby has said that he likes. Then the Raiders went out there and got head coach Clint Kubiak, former or current, actually, offensive coordinator of the Seahawks, who are playing in the Super Bowl. It's like, let's see. Looks to me like the Raiders are making the proper moves to put them in position to actually turn things around for once. And that's the moment that Maxx Crosby's going to say that he wants out. That doesn't seem legit to me. That's what tells me that this was something that happened previously, right? This was a conversation that probably happened right about the time that he went on IR. And Jay Glazer, I'd be saying that all this is cap, except Jay Glazer is a trusted insider who doesn't just put things out there to put it out there, and he does have connections to Maxx Crosby. However, I do not think that Maxx Crosby today is saying, yo, I want out. Why would he wait and see, look, the Raiders are getting Clint Kubiak as their head coach, the coach that everybody wanted. Raiders are going to be able to draft Fernando Mendoza. I think that I should ask to get traded. I don't think so. I don't think that that's the way that it would go down, but there's other people that had stuff to say about that. And of course, Diana Rossini chimes in like usual, saying Raider star defensive edge Maxx Crosby wants to play for Mike Vrabel in New England, according to Diana Rossini. He, Crosby, told me, Rossini said on the Zolak and Bertan show. The thing is that, look, I think, this is speculation, but there was a clip that I saw today even, actually. It was after the Pro Bowl several years back when the Pro Bowl, they still, actually played football, kind of. It was that year where they weren't really tackling each other, but they were wearing pads. Then the following year, they went to flag football. But both him and Patrick Mahomes were saying how much they liked Mike Vrabel and how much they would love to have him as their head coach. You don't see everybody all over the place saying Patrick Mahomes wants out and he wants to go play for Mike Vrabel. But there's always the rumors about Maxx Crosby, right? And I get it. The NFL does not want the Raiders to have good things. So, of course, every single offseason, it's like, oh, Maxx Crosby's going to want out. Oh, he's going to request a trade. Oh, where's he going to go? You know, and the thing is, man, is that I don't think he's going anywhere. Now, him saying that, you know, basically the picks would be more than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons went for 2 first-round picks and a Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle. If Maxx Crosby's worth more than that, I think that the Raiders would have to consider that. We would absolutely have to look at it and see what it would be. Honestly, it would probably be picks that are in like the 20s, right? We're not talking about, you know, the Jets trading us pick number 2 and 12. You know, like it's not going to go down like that. What it would more likely be is a team like, you know, the Lions or the Cowboys, or, you know, like somebody who's already like in playoff contention and they're thinking adding Maxx Crosby could really kind of put us over the top. I'm telling you guys, man, I really doubt that this is factual. If the Raiders don't want to move on from him, I don't see why Crosby would want to move on from the Raiders right now. Because right now, yes, we could clear up $30 million in cap space as well if we were to move on from Maxx Crosby. But if we play him for one more year, right? And if I were Maxx Crosby, I'd be looking at this and it's like, hold up, we got a new coach, we're getting a new quarterback. I'm going to, you know, even if he wants out, I'd be thinking, let's run it one more year, right? Let's see what this actually looks like. Because if it's a shit show, you know, next year, 2026 season, then, you know, he could just be like, yeah, yo, I want out. And then if he gets traded at that point, he's offered no more guaranteed money on his contract. Then at that point, he could be in negotiations for a new deal because he's like, hey, I'm making under $30 million a year. The price has gone up for edge rushers. Pay me. And he would likely get paid. So for him to be trying to force his way out right now, you guys, it does not make any sense to me. I don't believe this to be true, but there's a big buzz around it, and there's content creators that I trust that are, you know, putting information out there like, dang, like this is actually something that we got to look at because there could be some truth to this because of their trust in Jay Glazer. Me personally, I don't think this is going to happen. You guys let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is going to happen? Do you want this to happen? Do you not want this to happen? Do you think it's all cap? Like always, I love you, nation. I'll catch you on the next one.